When David Chen shook hands with his business partner for the last time, he had no idea it would cost him 4 years of his life and everything he'd built. This is the story of how one man's trust was turned into a weapon, and how the same trust ultimately saved him. David was 41 when he started the company, a logistics consultancy based in Manchester. Nothing glamorous, but solid. He'd spent 15 years building expertise in supply chain management before deciding to go it alone. He needed a partner, someone to handle the commercial side while he focused on operations. A mutual friend introduced him to a man named Paul. Paul was persuasive, polished, and well-connected. He talked about clients he knew, deals he'd done, relationships he could bring to the table. David was impressed. They drew up a 50-50 partnership agreement and opened a joint business account. Within 18 months, the company had 12 clients and was turning over £800,000 a year. David was proud. He thought he'd found the right person. He hadn't. The first sign came at the annual audit. The accountant flagged unusual expenses, consultancy fees paid to a company David didn't recognise. He raised it with Paul, who brushed it off. Said it was a subcontractor he'd brought in, said he'd send the paperwork. The paperwork never came. David started digging. He requested bank statements going back 2 years. What he found made his stomach drop. Paul had been billing the business for phantom consultancy services, all paid to a limited company registered in his wife's maiden name. Over 26 months, he'd siphoned off £112,000. David went straight to a commercial fraud solicitor. The case took 14 months to build. Paul's lawyers tried every delay tactic available. They claimed the payments were legitimate profit distributions. They questioned David's own accounting. They made it personal and ugly. But David had kept everything. Every email, every contract, every bank statement, every meeting note with dates and times. The judge didn't take long. Paul was ordered to repay the full £112,000 plus interest plus David's legal costs. His business reputation was destroyed. 3 of his so-called well-connected clients turned out to be nothing. When David's solicitor investigated, they found Paul had barely brought in 1/5 of the revenue he'd claimed. The partnership was dissolved. Paul's wife's company was struck off. David rebuilt. He brought in a new operations director, someone he'd worked with for years and trusted completely. Within 2 years, the business was turning over £1.5 million. He says now that losing Paul was the best thing that ever happened to the company. The person you trust with your business can make you or break you. Make sure they earn that trust. And make sure you keep records that prove who actually built what. Subscribe to Karma's Verdict for a new story every week. And drop a comment. Have you ever been betrayed by a business partner?